Hello, you are listening to Unnamed Wrestling Podcast featuring LunaKage and Mr. Yusuck.
I am LunaKage.
I'm Mr. Yusuck. And together we are Unnamed Wrestling Podcast, or UWP.
Yep.
Together we are we are Canadians, or
we are literally what happened at the sound effects, whatever, like on the Looney Tunes, whatever.
The Looney Toony sound effects.
Yeah, when like
it's been a while since our last show. It was a good 5-week stretch.
Yeah.
For Hell in a Cell,
which is amazing considering like how worthless the pay-per-view really is.
Yeah, and
at this point, it had a 5-week build-up.
It had a 5-week build-up, which is really a shame because I think we need to spend a little bit of time covering this. The Raw, plural, leading up to Hell in a Cell were record-breaking. No, not record-breaking. Near record-breaking lows in terms of ratings.
I mean, it's football season. That's one of the big reasons.
That's one of the big reasons, but it dipped to like the worst it's been since '97.
Yep.
So we're at like, and let's get one thing straight. These Raws were fucking terrible.
I only saw like 2 of them.
I watched all of them, and there was a couple where I was like, "Holy shit, these are bad." There's nothing to care about.
Yeah, because they're building up to a beep. That's the big thing.
Granted, they're building up to a big nothing, so they got to fill a ton of space. But there's like a whole lot of just like nothing's happening, no one cares.
That's kind of the biggest problem. Whenever they get a match that they feel like will sell the pay-per-view, then they focus on that. And the worst part about that is that this particular match was with 2 part-timers, so they weren't really around either. So it's like, okay, fuck it, people are gonna watch just to see Brock and Taker. Like, man, nobody really realizes how little people really care about that match at this point.
Yeah, it was an extremely bad run where you had a bunch of bad feuds happening. We finally saw the end of the Lana Rusev Summer Ziggler feud, almost.
Only to give way into something worse.
Rusev and Lana got engaged IRL, and then the news broke on TMZ, probably of their own accord, and that killed the actual feud from happening. So thank you, Rusev. He's going to get buried. He's going to job for the next year.
You know, it's really kind of funny, because this happened right after... Well, not right after, I don't think. Maybe it was last episode, where you and I were talking about how Rusev keeps up kayfabe so well outside.
Yeah.
But then he goes in... Then, well, maybe this was Lana's fault. I don't know.
I think his back was up against the wall.
Yeah.
Because also, he was being put into a spot where, like, the dirt sheets, or some websites, like WrestleZone, were reporting that Vince wanted them to break up for realsies as well. Which senile old man yells at clouds.
I mean, you know, like I can see it, because like I don't think Lana's really Russian, is she?
No.
Yeah, so
She's
like
not.
I imagine from his perspective, it's like this foreign guy is with this white girl. We can make this white girl a great diva. But we can't have her dating this foreign dude. It's not a good look. How can we make Lana's future son a future WWE champion if he's going to be foreign?
Half foreign. That's too much.
No, it's full foreign. If you have foreign blood, you are full foreign. He's like, Lana, just date fucking that Ziggler kid.
Guy.
Or better yet, we can hook you up with Reigns.
God.
Ooh, wouldn't that be a power couple?
Shoot.
It's like, screw it, Hunter, go fuck her.
God, kill me now. So we had that feud finally come to an end. Thank you, Rusev, for putting your relevancy within the roster on the chopping block and getting us out of that.
Poor Rusev.
Poor Ruru.
He's the biggest babyface ever.
He's actually the biggest babyface. We also had a particularly bad moment last week's Raw where some idiot in the back office told Reigns to go out and do like a 5-minute in-ring promo in Chicago. And Reigns was not doing very well, and the crowd was giving him shit. And then he forgot his lines, and then the crowd gave him more shit. And it was actually painful to watch.
You know,
I felt very, very bad.
I feel as if I've seen that, because I do remember watching a Raw in Chicago, but I don't remember this segment being as bad as you were saying.
Oh my god, it was. The thing is, like, okay, so like the cameraman is like a foot away from Roman's face, and like you can, and the crowd like immediately starts wetting him. I mean, that's standard fare.
Yeah,
but his promo like just keeps going on. It's not doing anything. And then you can see, like, the fear hit his face when he realizes he's forgotten his lines. And the crowd immediately, like, leaps on him. It's really bad. And it's one of those things, like, and we discussed this. It was the same thing with the 7-minute sleep spot.
Yeah.
That Roman went through. If your end goal is to have Roman be the top face, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
So why you put him in these situations where he's just going to look like shit?
Just glaring.
Like obvious, plain as day, he's going to look like shit. Like, Roman has mic problems. This is an issue that everyone is aware of.
Huge.
So don't put him out there in front of a huge, smart crowd and then have him do, like, a 5-minute promo, because he's just going to get torn to shreds. And he was.
Like, honestly, like I've said before, the only time Reigns is entertaining is when he's with Ambrose.
Yeah.
And that's really awful because... You know, like I've said, Ambrose is my favorite guy right now. But that makes it awful for me, because that means if somebody realizes that, that's all Ambrose is ever going to fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the only way I'd be happy with that, like, being a thing forever is if, like, fucking Ambrose gets, like, this crippling injury that makes it so that he can't wrestle again, and he just becomes the most psychotic manager of all time. Because, like, I could listen to that dude talk for, like, 9 years.
Yeah.
Just like, sitting down and listen to him fucking
talk. And for the
talk.
past couple weeks, it has been... Actually, for a past while, it's been... Dean is pretty much Roman's handler.
Dude, even tonight on Raw, we're recording this Monday, by the way.
Yeah, we after watching Hell in a Cell, we came... We're recording it Monday right after Raw.
Yeah, so
we're referencing what happened at the Raw after Hell in a Cell as well.
Yeah, so even tonight on Raw... The only thing Dean did, other than sit in the ring during that breast cancer segment, which was also good, it's like, oh, there's a wild Dean Ambrose.
Alongside wild Curtis Axel.
Right. The only thing Dean did was have this backstage moment with Reigns, where Reigns barely said anything, but Ambrose cut this fucking great promo about how Reigns is awesome without outright saying Reigns is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, Ambrose is the only guy that could fucking make me root for Reigns.
Oh, you missed the Raw where they put it was the go home Raw where Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I saw
Ric Flair came out and then tried to get Roman over.
Yeah, I heard about it. I saw like a couple of clips that WWE uploaded to their YouTube. But I honestly didn't watch the Raw just because I forgot.
Yeah, that's fine.
By the time I remembered that I didn't watch Raw, that's how easily I forget these Raws a lot of times. Because I'm like it's fucking the Saturday before the pay-per-view, and I'm like, I didn't fucking watch Raw this week. And like, I was already going to bed, so it's like, it was not to be.
So yeah, that's your lead into Hell in a Cell. It's been a long, hard, boring 5 weeks. And so hopefully... something within Hell in a Cell will pay off.
There was one good thing that happened in these 5 weeks that we were like tossing around the idea of like doing a short podcast for, but we never ended up doing it. The Takeover show.
Yes.
Yeah.
NXT Takeover Respect happened. Fantastic pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It really goes to show how much better NXT is right now.
I mean, fucking the
Asuka debuts. Asuka debuts. She's unbelievably hot.
I mean, she's hot in a way where you like it's a different kind of hot.
Yeah, she's got pure cute sexual energy.
It's weird because I get what you mean.
Yeah, like she's really cute, but she's also got this like fiery sexuality behind her.
And when you look at her, it's not like her body is like fucking supermodel or anything like that. She's got like this kind of strong thickness to where it's like,
oh my gosh, she's so good.
Yeah, like she's very Japanese shaped, I guess you could say.
I'm unbelievably attracted to her.
Yeah, I mean, Asuka is definitely fucking, oh geez. Like as soon as I saw her debut, like I sent you a tweet I was like, man, I got to make the hardest decision of my life. Becky or Asuka. And they're both redheads now.
Yep. So she debuted. It was great. We had, Ty Dillinger and Apollo Crews. Great match. Was it Ty Dillinger and Apollo Crews? No, it was, who else was there?
Shit, I don't know.
I can't remember now.
Only thing I explicitly remember was the segment with the women. That's basically
it was Apollo Crews had to fight someone else. I can't remember. Ty Dillinger and Apollo
Was
Crews.
it Tyler Breeze? It was. It was Tyler Breeze versus Apollo Crews. That's what it was.
That's what it was. and
poor Tyler. He's already dead.
Tyler jobbed.
Of course.
Because all Tyler's been doing for the past couple months has been jobbing, and it's really bad.
And get used to it.
Yeah.
Because that's all he's going to do on the main roster, too.
The week before Hell in a Cell, the SmackDown before, I apologize.
Oh, boy.
Tyler Breeze debuted as, apparently, and neither of us have watched SmackDown, but apparently, within the Ziggler-Lana, the Ziggler-Summer storyline that's apparently still trying to be, like...
A thing
after, 5 weeks of the baby being born and it tragically dying. They're still trying to parade it around like it's a thing. So during SmackDown, Summer Rae introduces her new boyfriend, which is Tyler Breeze. And so, let's take this from the top. Summer Rae introduces the debut of Tyler Breeze on SmackDown.
Yep.
Hail Hitler.
Yep. Yep.
So Tyler Breeze's career is already over.
This is exactly where I figured Tyler Breeze would end up, and it's no fault of his.
Yep. I'm a mark for Tyler Breeze. I think he took a really difficult gimmick to make work.
He's literally, you know how people throw around they're the next or the modern Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Well, he was legitimately that, considering the fact that was basically the gimmick Shawn Michaels had too. Mm. He's just a sexy boy.
Yeah, he's the new age. He's literally the new age Shawn Michaels in terms of the gimmick.
Yeah, if Shawn Michaels debuted in 2015, he would have a fucking selfie stick.
Yeah,
he would be fucking puckering in a mirror. It's literally the same gimmick. It's just that now that it's 2015. Vince doesn't like it.
Yeah, it's so good. It's such a how do you take a gimmick about a guy who takes selfies? That's his gimmick. He takes selfies. And Tyler Breeze kills the gimmick. He murders the gimmick.
You know what really kills the gimmick in a literal way and not in a, hype way?
What?
The fact that Tyler Breeze went completely against his gimmick. Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't his fault. But the character is now completely against his gimmick because his whole thing was that he didn't like Uggos, but now he's dating Summer Rae.
Help
Shit,
me.
I would fuck myself before I'd fuck Summer Rae.
Help me.
And I feel bad because if she ever hears that'd be mean.
Help me.
And I don't like being mean.
All right, so it's been 13 minutes. We've done our pre-show show.
We're on a time crunch again.
We're on a time crunch. I need to go to bed. All the times we record, I need to go to bed. Jesus. Okay, so Hell in a Shell.
Hell in a Shell.
Hell in a Shell.
The Ninja Turtles version. It's time for Shell in a Cell.
Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project for the NES.
Oh, okay.
Go play that shit.
I should.
Oh my god, the soundtrack to that game is the bomb.
Maybe one day in the year 2020 I'll make it to Weeb Fortress.
Oh my gosh, you should come to Weeb Fortress. That's amazing. Anyway, so Hell in a Cell kickoff. Here's the things that happen. There's a backstage promo with Big Match John. He cuts a really nice promo, and at this point, the dirt sheets had been saying, hey, look at the event list. John Cena's after Hell in a Cell. John Cena's not on any scheduled events, so he's probably taking a break, and so that means he's probably dropping the belt at Hell in a Cell. Considering he's doing the Open Challenge at Hell in a Cell,
right? He's
dropping the belt. So if he's really dropping the belt, I'm gonna miss him because for the past long while, amidst many failed feuds and stillbirth feuds and a terrible main event assist program, John Cena has been, alongside New Day, the shining star of Raw.
Yep.
In terms of good match quality and entertainment.
And this kind of leads up to one of my issues with how they built up the U.S. title. Mm-hmm. It's not the U.S. title. And the way that they took it off of John Cena made it not a big deal. And really the only way John Cena could have lost that title and it to matter is if it was some kind of big deal.
Yeah.
And since this was a random...
Well, we still got to do the pre-show show before we kick into the actual John Cena Open Challenge.
Yeah.
I'm just mentioning that he had a great promo. We'll get there because we got to strap ourselves in for this one. Kevin Owens cuts a very cheap heel promo about the Lakers, but this isn't a backstage one. He's actually outside.
Yeah.
He's outside the Staples Center among the crowd next to the statue of Magic Johnson. And I think he calls him, he's like, is it Magic Jackson?
Magic Jackson.
Or something like that. It's dumb, cheap heel shit, but it's Kevin Owens, so I love it. And he's also outside among the crowd. I think that's just as novel.
I think more crowd interaction with Kevin Owens is definitely a good idea.
Yeah. So we do get a kick-off match, and it's a 6-man tag. You're looking at new Noel colors.
These are the fan-voted winning colors, aka okay, uninteresting, same old ugly shit. Fucking why? Literally. God damn it.
I play neutral. I play the default colors in every single fighting game. Almost every single fighting game. So I'm a nerd. The worst nerd.
It's okay.
So 6-man tag. It's Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville versus Rusev, Barrett, and Sheamus. If you're thinking to yourself, wow, that's a stacked 6-man tag of people who are very talented and deserve to be higher up on the card, but instead are in the pre-show, then you're correct.
Yeah.
Because they are. So that's, if you were wondering what's going on with Raw lately, have the fact that Cesaro, Neville, Rusev, and Barrett are on the pre-show tell you something.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Cesaro gets a good tag. 30 seconds in, massive pop. He gets a pop right off the bat that he gets a tag because Cesaro's over as shit, despite being buried.
Yeah.
Neville, Cesaro gets a knockdown and then drops on all fours, and then Neville comes in and does a 540 corkscrew moonsault off Cesaro's back, and then we know within a minute that they're far too fucking good to be on the pre-show. Yep. There's a good amount of storytelling towards a hinted feud as the Cosmic Wasteland, which is Stardust and the Ascension.
Which is a great name.
Great name. God, it's so good. They're outside, kind of behind where the Timekeepers area is, and they have little signs that say Stardust section, and Stardust has these really wacky, like bedazzled binoculars, because that totally fits his character, and I love it. Match continues with, general good workmanship from the people in this match that can do good workmanship, which is 4/6 of this match, if not a little more. Ziggler gets beat up for like 8 million days. Gets a hot tag to Cesaro, who cleans house and then decides to clean his neighbor's house.
Yeah.
That's the only accurate way to tell how hard Cesaro goes to clean house.
Yeah.
So Cesaro gets the tag, and there's more pops because Cesaro's over, and
right.
No one decides to want to acknowledge this in the back office. He starts throwing dudes outside the ring and doing the European uppercut 8 times to the running turnbuckle one to Barrett, and then Barrett goes to throw him against the ropes, and he does some super intricate flare bump looking flip through the ropes to recover. Does the big leg to knock him out. And then, while he's on the apron, he looks over and sees Sheamus, and he does a running cannonball off the apron into Sheamus. Looks killer. And so he's like, oh shit, I'm on the outside. Look, there's Rusev over there. And so he does a full run around the ring. He runs to one side of the ring on the outside of the apron, does a European uppercut to Rusev, runs all the way around, and does a European uppercut to Barrett, runs all the way around, probably does another European uppercut to Cesaro.
Sheamus, yeah.
Yeah, Sheamus. No, he only did it to Barrett. He did it to Sheamus on the outside. Barrett was still in the ring. He gets back up on top of the turnbuckle and does a big fucking huge crossbody onto Barrett. The dude's just was on freestyle rapping for like a good minute. And it looks great, and the crowd's completely into it. So it was really awesome. There's some hints that Cesaro and Neville are going to be a tag team, because there's at least 3 spots where there's some sort of like Cesaro and Neville specific combination.
And if it's not like already a plan, you can tell that those two are at least thinking about it themselves.
And the fact that the Cosmic Wasteland is kind of targeting Cesaro hints at it heavily, because they already have a feud going with Neville, so it just kind of makes sense. Cesaro, they end the match with Cesaro doing a giant swing, and then tags Neville for the Red Arrow. This match was really good.
Yep.
And
we just watched it.
Yeah, because Luna didn't get to catch the pre-show, but this is legitimately match of the night for me.
Yep. It was good.
And the thing was, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, well, that's probably going to be match of the night, and I ended up being correct.
Yeah.
Sadly. So...
Well, review over.
But, yeah, I wish the review was over right there. So that's the kickoff show. We already had match of the night, so it's all downhill from here.
We should just do a podcast where the only thing we review is the kickoff show, and we just talk an hour about how cute Renee is, and then we review the match, and that's it.
On this episode, we'll talk about how much I would love to take Renee on a Sunday morning trip to a posh cafe and have coffee with her and discuss what adorable baby names we're going to have for our upcoming daughter. Because that's the life I want to live. Man,
that was so cute, you almost got me.
I'm just... she's so adorable.
She is quite adorable. She's got Dean. Got Jimmy Dean Ambrose.
That's because she's got good taste.
She does have good taste.
So Hell in a Cell starts proper, and we're like, oh man, it's time for Hell in a Cell. I wonder what the first match will be.
Yep.
Okay, so I will try to get through all of the show notes before we spiral out of control, but like, just buckle up, because we're both going to spiral out of control about this one. Big Match John comes out to massive boos. I can't remember where they are for Hell in a Cell, but he comes out to massive boos.
L.A., I think.
Yeah, that's right. It was L.A. So he gets booed, and he says something along the lines of, all right, I hear you. We're going to skip the big old dissertation I had planned today and get right to the action.
Yep.
I don't know if he actually had a promo ready, which is the kind of scary part. So he's like, yeah, I'm the champ. The place to be is here, and I'm the man to beat. And so it's right about now. He looks at the watch that's not on his hand.
Yep.
And then we look out, and we're like, oh man, who's going to answer the John Cena Open Challenge?
I hope it's a big deal.
And Zeb Coulter comes out in a Walmart power scooter.
Which immediately sent red flags off in my mind, because I'm thinking Jack Swagger.
Yeah. A, Zeb Coulter can't wrestle. B, Jack Swagger. So he comes out, and he says something about the international ability of the U.S. Championship, I think. I can't remember exactly what his little mini promo was, but he was introducing...
I was too busy being, like...
scared.
Not scared, but just, like, confused to actually listen to what he had to say, so I didn't catch most of it.
Yeah, so he comes out to introduce the new U.S. champion, and the dirt sheets were true. Alberto Del Rio is back in the business.
Oh boy, Mexican Randy Orton is here to replace normal Randy Orton.
Randy Orton's out on injury. That's why Dean Ambrose doesn't have a match in Hell in a Cell. Spoiler alert, Dean Ambrose doesn't have a match at Hell in a Cell.
Man, of all times to just, like, wish Randy Orton was still okay.
So, it's funny, though, because if Randy Orton was still here, then we'd just have 2 Randy Ortons.
Yeah.
So, nothing...
Get a third one there, you'd have Alberto Del Trio.
Oh my god, that's so good, and I hate it. I hate you for that. So, nothing really exciting happens. There's a good tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Del Rio. There's, Del Rio starts signaling for his move. And
cross-arm breaker.
Yeah, the cross-arm breaker, and, there's a really bad mistake camera cut.
Yeah.
So, yeah, someone in the production bay goofed up. That was about it.
Yeah. Kevin Dunn, good old boy.
Yeah, Kevin Dunn.
Because, like, what it wasn't a fuck-up. It was
a cut to the crowd.
Yeah, it was a cut to the crowd because, you know, as he was signaling for his move, the crowd was chanting C. They were doing the C chants. So they were like, oh, that's good. We need a crowd shot of people being excited for Alberto Del Rio. And then they did it, and then fucking somebody heard fucking fuck.
Damn,
Missed a clothesline.
We're already mad.
A good clothesline by John Cone.
I don't even want to continue.
I've seen this match like 30 times, by the way. Not this actual match, but these two facing each other.
Yeah, so nothing happens in this match.
Nothing
happens in this match. John Cena goes to hit the AA, and Del Rio reverses into a backstabber and then a super kick, and he wins.
Yep.
So I was completely taken aback because when was the last time the super kick had any sort of power associated with it? This match was really short, probably clocking in somewhere within 7 to 8 minutes. I do not believe this broke the 10-minute barrier. That's the show notes for this one. Let's get into this, Luna. What went wrong other than everything?
Well, first of all, Del Rio. I'm sure there's like several people that are like, oh man, Alberto Del Rio ain't shit. Okay, he's really not. I can't say he's a horrible wrestler because he's not bad. He's just not entertaining. There's not a single thing about him that's entertaining. The only thing about him that's entertaining is fucking being Spoiler Man, and that's it. Like, I don't give a fuck about Alberto Del Rio. He's boring on the mic. He's boring in the ring. He's the only guy that can do a move that looks flashy, and I'll still go, I didn't like it. It was fucking whatever. I don't care. Because he's actually, no, I called him the Mexican Randy Orton, but that's not true, because at least when Randy Orton hits his move, it looks great, and I love it. But Alberto Del Rio is just like fucking boring, bland. He didn't work when he was here the first time, so he fucking left. And now he's back, and we're supposed to be impressed just because he's returned after so long. Like, it's not like he's fucking, someone who's actually worth a shit. And now he's the new United States champion. And guess what? The belt's going to be right back to meaning nothing. Because John Cena doesn't have it, and it's no longer going to be booked like John Cena has it. And that's the biggest issue. They got rid of it without it being a big deal. They just gave it away on a free open challenge without, like, there's no fanfare, there was no feud, which I guess a lot of people were expecting, because, like, an open challenge, the whole point is for somebody unexpected to come out and win it. But, yeah, I didn't expect Alberto Del Rio because I didn't see any of the dirt sheets, but I wasn't happy about it. I was like, God damn it, this guy again? I thought I finally fucking got rid of him. I thought he went to fucking Lucha Underground, where he probably was more entertaining.
Probably as El Patron.
Yeah, like now he's just going to be Alberto Del Rio again, and somehow it looks like his nipples are darker. I don't.
Well, yeah, actually, they are.
Like I just
spent some time tanning those puppies.
Like literally, and it shows because this episode of Raw. He was United States champion. There was no open challenge, which I guess was because he was in 2 matches, but I doubt he's going to have an open challenge.
Yeah.
It's just going to be it's going to be the U.S. title again. It's going to be the Intercontinental title. That's just it.
Intercontinental title 2.0.
And that's what I feel. There's a possibility I could be wrong, and I would love to be, but all I see is, like, just ending it in a match that wasn't even that good. You fucking, like, you took the belt off Cena, put it on Rollins so he could be cool with it for a month. Then you took it right back off Rollins so that Cena would have it and do nothing with it for a month. Then you took it right off fucking Cena to give it to somebody that shouldn't even be around anymore. Like,
it tag me in. Okay, so it was really egregious because Cena spent so much time putting actual prestige on the U.S. belt by having it be a mid-card tool to showcase talent to mid-carders that were really not doing much of anything at the time because you didn't need a storyline exclusive reason to be wrestling for that belt. You just had to show up and put on a really good match. And John Cena was out there to put on really good matches. And John Cena went out there and put on really good matches. And so the highlight of Raw for like the past 6 months has usually been John Cena's open challenge, because you don't know who's going to come out and answer it. And then once they get out there, usually they put on a barn burner of a fucking match. And we had multiple amazing matches and even a couple of main events that were the John Cena Open Challenge. So you had, like, when you started off, it started off with, like, Stardust and Dean Ambrose and Neville, and, like, it was like, oh, this is great. And eventually it started, like, upgrading, and then you had the whole Cena and Owens feud that was going on, and that was great. And it spiraled into Cesaro and Cena, which were two of my favorite matches out of this year when it comes to Raw quality. The Cesaro Cena 2 was like a main event that probably lasted like 40 minutes. It had like 3 commercial breaks or something. It was awesome.
And not only was it guys in the mid-card going out and having long, good matches, but it was mid-card guys having long, great matches against the top guy of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit more special than Dolph Ziggler going out there with fucking, you know, I don't know, Heath Slater or something and having 30 minutes. Like, you know, when you're in there with John Cena, regardless of how you feel about him, it's more special that he's there, because it's like, oh, this guy is getting highlighted by John Cena. Yeah, we know he's going to lose, but at least it's going to be an awesome match.
Yeah, but it's a highlight reel. It's a demo reel. It's your comp card. It's your resume. It's, you know, it's your list of services there.
And then you just shit all over that.
It was so egregious, because every open challenge, John Cena would come out and he'd ramp up here, walk down the ramp, glutes tight, lungs full of air,
fucking kick out of 9 finishers.
He'd come out, deliver a huge promo, get the crowd going, and then you have the great match all during Raw. Open up to Hell in a Cell. He comes out and he says, I'm not going to say anything. Because I don't even know if he had anything planned.
He probably didn't.
He probably didn't.
That was probably part of the joke.
Yeah. And so he comes out here, he doesn't say a promo. He comes out here, and then Alberto Del Rio comes in, and I'm like, okay, it's Alberto Del Rio. Let's have that big match. Let's have that big motherfucking match where you're going to take John Cena to his absolute limits and then take that belt off of him. And it's a 7-minute match that ends in a motherfucking super kick.
Yeah. The
lowest power level finisher out there right now.
I mean, that's not true. Like, every finisher is like that. Regardless of that, it wasn't that the super kick is a low level finisher. It's that it wasn't his finisher.
Yeah, that too. And then, like, on Raw, he also had a not finisher.
Yeah. And, like, the commentary team was trying to sell it like, oh, that kick won him a world title. Yeah, guess what? It was against Dolph Ziggler, like, either right after or right before Dolph Ziggler had a concussion, so there was a reason why that would have put him out.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, this is just the John Cena syndrome. Like, oh, we can't have him lose this match, but we're having him lose a match to a guy who uses a submission finisher. What do? Like, oh, Daniel Bryan, let's debut a brand new finishing move during this match just because we don't want John Cena tapping out. But at least with Daniel Bryan, that move was awesome, for one, and two, he kept using it.
Mm-hmm.
But notice how the knee never got a name. You know, like,
yeah, this was a non-match.
Yeah,
it felt like a
and that's the biggest problem with it, because, like, even if you're fine with Alberto Del Rio as a whole,
mm-hmm.
even if you're fine with, you know, John Cena's reign ending, even if you're fine with him getting the belt, you can't be fine with how this went.
No, it was a non-match.
It was not up to the standard of what. And it was a lot like the streak ending, you know, like the past 5 or more years, depending on your opinion, you know, the streak was the best match of the night. But then the time when it ends, it was the worst, probably the worst streak match. Like, I don't know, maybe Giant Gonzalez? I forget.
Giant Gonzalez in WrestleMania 9.
Yeah, maybe that was worse. But it was an awful match. But the streak ending was such a big deal that we can forget about that and say, oh, the streak ending was a huge moment. This wasn't a huge moment. It was just the fucking... It was like...
It was a throwaway match.
It was like... But you've stopped 30 seconds. It's just you were already in the middle of... You know, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm done, and then it just... Instead of you fucking... It was one of those things. I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
I'm just thinking about when my little brother discovers these podcasts.
Oh, Jesus.
Thanks, Luna.
It's okay.
That might go out in editing. Fucker.
He won't get to hear what I said earlier, and I already forgot what I said.
Thank God.
I remember it was awesome.
It was a wet fart to end what was the best part of Raw since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What was consistently the best part of Raw since WrestleMania. So basically, Hell in a Cell starts and we're just pissed.
Yeah.
Like after that, I'm like, I'm deflated. I've got little left in the tank.
Speaking of disappointment.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no. The next match was good.
What, Bray Roman?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Disappointment. Like, the match was good.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I wasn't disappointed.
That's true. Okay, so next up is Bray and Roman have a Hell in a Cell match. During all of the promo packages, they keep replaying the part where Roman says, "Hell in a Cell." It's like
I just keep waiting for like a start button to show up.
Oh
like,
my God.
Press start to begin game.
Yeah, it's
Resident Evil.
Like, Roman really does not do a good job of delivering this, and they keep saying it like that. Someone's in the back office is like, well, that's the only cut we have of like Roman saying "Hell in a Cell," so we got to use it. And Vince is like a lone sweat drop comes off Vince's brow. He's like, "You doing good, slugger."
No, see, in Vince's eyes, fucking Roman's killing it.
Oh my God!
In Vince's eyes, he's fucking going in the back and masturbating to his luscious Samoan lips.
He's got a really pretty look, though.
I mean, yeah, he does.
He's really beautiful.
I'd fuck Roman. I don't give a shit.
I'd let Roman fuck me. So quick note, not too far in the match. Bray starts pulling out some kendo sticks and going at Roman. Just a quick mental thing for me. Is hitting a dude with a kendo stick really all that effective when he has actual body armor on?
Yeah, I thought that too.
And commentary is trying to sell it like, oh my God, that kendo stick could have broken his ribs.
No, it couldn't.
No, it couldn't. He's literally got body armor on.
Yeah.
You can't not sell the fact that he's got body armor on.
Yeah.
He actually is wearing a body armor vest.
You know, one of these
that would
days
protect him from something almost exactly like this happening.
One of these days, and I hope it's during like a feud where it's like Dean Ambrose is the heel against Roman Reigns. I just want him to bring up the fact that the only reason why he can like fucking take all this abuse is that he never took off his fucking his fucking SWAT vest.
His shield vest.
It's like, yeah, that's why me and Seth have had a drastically reduced power level, because we take off our body armor and shit.
Although I do want like Roman's first loss to be a loss where he gets hit with a big move and his vest just like video game style like explodes.
Like fucking Soul Calibur 5
Soul
style.
Calibur 5 style. That'd be the hypest. I'd be okay with that. Anyways, it's a pretty physical brawl the outside match. Bray's hitting him with a bunch of sticks. Bray then sticks a chair. No, actually, one second. I got lost my notes. There's a great bit where Bray goes up to hit Roman with a chair, but instead he like kind of brings the chair back down and sits in it. And then he starts just kind of like poking and prodding Roman with the stick, like kind of poking him in the face with it. Great characterization from Bray. He's amazing.
Yep.
Bray sticks the chair. He opens the chair up and then sticks the legs inside the links of the cell, which is great. And then he does the same with the kendo stick in the corner. He slams Roman's face through the kendo stick. Awesome stuff. Roman reverses an attack and pushes Bray into the chair that was elevated in the cell. You had to expect it. He was going to get his.
Yep.
Roman gets probably the spot of the match where he looks really menacing after he grabs two kendo sticks. And he's kind of walking towards Bray and like slapping him on the ground in a really, really like sinister way. Like
fucking dual wielding is about to get down.
Yeah, like the big thing with this match was that not only was it a really nicely wrestled match, but it was a match where Roman looked like he had charisma. Yeah. And he had characterization. And he had like a mean side to him. Like kind of, I'm gonna fuck you up, boy. Yep. Like, so he had a good look about him when he had the two kendo sticks and he's whacking with each one, and he combines the two of them to hit him with
the super sword.
The supers, yeah. He gets the Megazord Lord sword. And Cole, in like a moment of just like brain fart, yells out, "Double special!"
Oh, man.
And I'm like, Cole, buddy, this is like the point of the match. This is like the moment of the match, and you're.
I mean, like at this point,
it up, dude.
Like I would have rather him shout like Buster Wolf,
yes, or I would rather
because it really sounded like he named what Roman just did, as opposed to describing what he just did. I would really
rather him just say Vintage Orton.
Yeah, like just say, "Oh look, Vintage Orton." Right. It's like, what are you talking about?
This
Cole?
Like the double special Cole moment is easily on par with Cole's vintage Orton from a couple months back or so.
No, because at least vintage Orton.
This is
you can kind of say that it was like, stacking, but like double special makes no fucking sense.
God, double special,
special
so
what?
Cheesy. I just don't get it.
It's not like fucking Roman did a Kamehameha and then did two Kamehamehas. That's a double special.
I don't get it. So double special sounds like something you order at like an ice cream store,
which would be awesome.
Yeah. In a strange burst of more charisma, Roman's getting a table from underneath the apron and throwing stuff in the ring, and then he kind of like the camera kind of comes up to him, and he's not looking right at the camera because you're not supposed to, but he's looking past the camera, and he's like, "Nah, man, one table ain't just ain't enough." And he goes and grabs another one. It's like it's more like good charismatic characterization in ring for Roman, and it comes off really nice. It's like this is a highlight reel match for Roman so far. Roman sets up one table on the outside and is preparing for a suplex onto it, but Bray reverses it and gets a disgusting hip toss through the table. Really, really looks like a hell of a bump to take.
Yeah, it's not a hip toss, though.
Yeah, it's the Japanese thing.
Uranagi, I believe, is what it's called. I used to know the move name by heart because I really loved saying it. But
closest thing I can describe it to.
Well, the closest
viewers to get to the idea is that it's. He picks him up and throws him.
It's a rock bottom where Bray doesn't fall with you.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Roman starts getting John Cena chants, as in, Roman sucks.
Let's go, Roman. Roman sucks. Yeah.
Interpret that as you will.
So Vince is masturbating because he's like, he's also John Cena.
Yeah, that's actually like accurate whether you want it to be right or not. If the crowd's got that kind of movement behind you on both sides of the fence, that's guaranteed movement that the crowd has, which is a good thing. In the end, it is a very good thing. Roman puts Bray through a table with a very disgusting powerbomb. Another big, nasty-looking bump. They're really kind of pulling out the stops on like the big table bumps in this match. There is a much like the bursts of charisma that Roman is having. He has a burst of actual mat talent, where Bray gets him and Sister Abigail, and then
like a snap Sister Abigail. He catches him.
I think he goes for the kiss on this one.
No, he did, but he was going to do it really quick.
Okay, yeah, he goes for the kiss, goes to snap him back as Sister Abigail is like the spinning STO, is it?
That is a. God, what do they call those? Like I usually call them like an inverted front face DDT, but yeah, it's like a reverse STO.
Okay, well as he's throwing him back, Roman kind of tucks and rolls with him and turns it into a roll up, and it's like really, really fast and smooth, and it's like something that looks like it takes like some actual talent to pull off. So like big props to Roman, because we don't see that kind of thing from Roman in the ring. It's actually a really, really strong looking thing that looks like he's got some mat skills.
It's really nice.
A+ to him, man. They brawl the outside again. They're kind of chilling up on the apron. There's another table there. I can't remember when it was set. Roman hits a spear on Bray on the apron and then careens him off the apron into a table on the outside. It was a pretty disgusting looking bump, I'm not going to lie. It was really rough. Bray's able to kick out because it takes him too long to get back into the ring. Roman kicks out of Sister Abigail. Let's play some sad orchestral music for Bray because he had to do the job. Thank you, Bray, for doing your job. There's a really sick looking spot where Bray sticks two kendo sticks in the turnbuckle facing out, and it's like, I'm going to spear you on these things. Like, kind of diabolical looking.
Yeah.
He goes over there and starts kind of like prodding Roman onto him, and Roman grabs one of them, beats Bray, kind of throws him into the other one. Bray looks like he spears his face on it, which is kind of visceral for this match. And then Roman hits the big spear and pins Bray and wins. It's by far the best Roman match I've seen.
Yeah.
And thank you very much, Bray, for doing the job. I'm so sorry that you can't get a win.
Yep. Fucking... And that's what disappointed me. Like, Bray needed a win so bad. Roman didn't need a win. At all.
Yeah.
He didn't need one.
But now these guys, he needed one big win so that they can excuse the fact that they're strapping that racket straight back to his ass. He needed that one big mid-card win so he can immediately be pushed back into the main event scene. Because the next night on Raw, there's 4 matches, and the winner of each match goes on to a fatal 4-way for the number 1 contender spot. So, Kofi comes out and jobs to Roman. Neville comes out and jobs to Alberto Del Rio. Cesaro comes out and jobs to Kevin Owens. And then Big E comes out and jobs to Ziggler.
Yep.
So, we had to get 4 matches of people who should not be jobbing out because they deserve better out of the way. So, we're already mad. And then there's a fatal 4-way where Roman and Ziggler and 2 heels happen. And we're like, okay, so, well, Kevin Owens has a belt. Alberto Del Rio has a belt. Ziggler doesn't have a belt. Roman's going to win. So, theoretically, Ziggler should be taking this pin.
Yep.
But it doesn't happen. Kevin Owens takes the pin. So, like, fuck everything. We had to watch everyone we like job out, and then Roman looks strong as shit. So, he's going straight back. There's the Rocket. He's back in the main event picture. Here we go.
Yeah. So that's...
There's that.
So what do you think the odds are of Roman beating Seth for the title of Survivor Series?
Sure.
It's going to happen.
Sure.
Yep.
Next up is New Day versus Dudley Boys. I have almost exactly 0 show notes for this. Kofi and Big E come out. There's no Xavier. He's selling an injury from being put through a table like a second or third time, and now he's out selling the injury. But beautifully, whilst out selling this injury, he's like a picture of him on Twitter with like a little. He makes like a pointer finger unicorn horn on his forehead, and he's like, "I'm giving my unicorn power to the New Day guys." And so like they come out and they're like the unicorn thing's immediately over because they're the New Day. And that's about it.
Yep.
This because the only thing that happened in that match that was worth mentioning was that Bubba Ray and Devon had a mega botch when they were trying to do some sort of combination.
It was going to be like a combination leg drop into sidewalk slam.
Yeah,
and it would have looked sweet.
Both of them were not at all on the same page when it happened. Like,
which is really rare for them.
Yeah, they've kind of been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
So that's really the only thing that happened. Oh, actually, my apologies. There was the Eddie Spot. So they came out with the broken trombone of Xavier, and when the ref's not looking, was it Kofi who did this?
Yep.
Okay, so Kofi comes in with the trombone and gives it to Bubba for him to hold. And then when the ref turns back around, Kofi's on the ground selling like he just got hit with bloody murder. Yep. And Bubba's holding the trombone. The ref's like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" You know, kind of thing like that. That's that. That was nice. But other than that, we've had this match too many times and nothing good came out of it.
Now, isn't it weird that like we had nothing to say about the New Day match?
Yeah, it actually is.
Like that is so fucking weird that we had the Dudleys versus the New Day and we didn't have anything to say.
It's just that
about
we've had the Dudleys versus the New Day too many times.
In a normal stipulation match.
Yeah, there just really hasn't been anything to talk about. Next up is Charlotte versus Nikki Bella. The match starts off pretty strong. Nikki has the offense. I think Nikki looks like Stephanie McMahon a little bit tonight because she's kind of made up and they have different outfits and her hair is long.
Yeah.
I don't remember this happening, but Charlotte immediately starts selling her back. And I don't remember there being an injury to her back. Yeah. But then, like, right after the sell, then they start working her back. And I was trying to think about it. I'm like, I don't particularly remember there being a back injury, but we'll run with it. I was also not paying 100% attention.
Yeah, I was paying almost no attention.
Yeah.
Because, as I mentioned, I think I was fapping during this match.
Yeah. So, but there's one hilarious bit to this match, and that is Nikki goes for the second rope kind of spinning turn kick, where she climbs up the second rope and then launches off, spins around, and kicks somebody.
Yeah.
I assume that the spot called for Charlotte to duck, because that's what happens. Charlotte ducks it, but Nikki's on autopilot mode, and she like puts a massive meaty thigh slap on anyways, as if she hit it.
Yeah.
And so like watching that, you're like, hey, I kind of could tell that Nikki did a thigh slap because there's this big sound like a kick happened, but Charlotte's rolling on the floor to dodge it. And if that wasn't embarrassing enough, they actually do a replay of it in slow motion in a camera angle where you can physically see Nikki slap her thigh. I'm like, well, why would you do that? Why would you expose that? Like, let's take a let's take a look at this replay, and it's like, is Nikki missing this kick? And you can see her like hit her thigh, like plain as day.
Expertly crafted.
Yeah.
Programming.
Nikki goes for the superplex, and like it's kind of weird to describe how this happens, but she goes for the superplex, and as they're falling, like Charlotte kind of like front flips out of it into a reversal.
Yeah, I actually saw this part.
Yeah.
Basically, what it looked like, it seemed to be set up so that it was supposed to look like Nikki doing like a super electric chair drop.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of that, Charlotte did a backflip out of it and landed on her feet. Well, supposed to land more like landed on her knees, really. But yeah, that's what it was supposed to be. But the whole setup looked weird. Like, you could tell that no move was actually going to be done onto Charlotte at this point, because the setup kind of made it look a little obvious. But what they were going for was an electric chair drop reversal type deal.
Yeah. Charlotte tries to slap on the figure eight, but the back injury stops her, unlike the leg injury from Night of Champions. Oops. Nikki hits an Alabama Slamma on the apron, which looks absolutely painful as shit. That looks like one hell of a bump to take. She goes back in for the rack attack, but Charlotte reverses and is able to get the figure eight locked a second time, and she takes the match. Becky and Paige come out to celebrate, but why does Paige even care? Because we don't know what the status of her feud is. And then on Raw, she betrays them again.
Yep.
So,
except this time she actually attacks them.
Yeah. Like, who cares? So that match let's get that match out of the way. Seth Rollins versus Le Demon Kane for the World Heavyweight Championship belt. First off, I was surprised that this wasn't a cell match.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think this was a big thing across most people. I think people just naturally assumed that this was a Hell in a Cell match.
Right.
Because it's Kane.
Like, they were already having two, might as well have three.
Exactly. Like you just kind of naturally assume, hey, this was a Hell in a Cell match.
Because, like, honestly, this feud has technically been going on for so long that it was the kind of feud that could have been in a cell.
Yeah, exactly. Not a whole lot of stuff that happens in this match.
Yeah.
Kane comes out looking strong, goes in like a mad bull. Seth is really selling for him, makes him look really strong. Seth goes for suicide dives, and Kane grabs him, that kind of stuff. The only thing of big note that happens is there's a Seth reverses a powerbomb and then bombs Kane onto the Spanish announce table, and it doesn't break.
Yeah.
And it was a move where it looked like it should have broken, but Spanish announce table far too strong for that shit. Seth hits Kane with the pedigree. Kane takes it on his knees because he's just far too old for this shit. And the match ends. Who cares?
Yeah,
that's about that. This is a really good pay-per-view for us to blaze through.
Yeah.
Because a
lot of it is who cares.
A whole lot of these matches are who
I don't even
cares.
feel like I've said much.
No, and that's because there was nothing for you to say.
Yeah.
Next up in the dead spots is the Intercontinental belts.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah, that was actually that was one of my notes. It's Ryback versus Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental belts, and I had a quick thought on that. Like, I don't know how I feel about this being in this spot. On one hand, I get that it's the IC belt and it's not that important, so it should go in the dead spot, I guess. But having it higher on the card than the actual WWE World Heavyweight Championship still feels really strange to me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's me not getting it as much, but I just felt like if you should rearrange this in a way where you should probably have like the Divas match or something else there, because it implies it's higher on the card than it. And I'm probably just looking too far.
I mean, honestly, like, you could have put, if you would have put the Bray Roman match there,
yeah,
then it wouldn't have been a dead spot.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, they don't normally do that because, like, they don't want to wear out the crowd, but
it's not like the crowd was getting worn out, because these matches, like, the dead spot was the middle section.
Yeah, plus you got to realize, like, the crowd wants to be worn out. That's why they go to the fucking show.
Yeah.
It's like 2 Hell in a Cell matches back to back, you know, unless, of course, they reuse too many of the same spots, because how many times can you throw somebody against the cell door before it stops being interesting?
Exactly. Once again, absolutely nothing of worth happens in this match. This like the best way to describe all the past 4 matches or so. Does that include Roman and Bray? Let me count.
Like, how many matches were on the card?
The last 4 matches: New Day and Dudley's, Charlotte, Nikki Bella, Seth Rollins, Demon Kane, Ryback, Kevin Owens. The best way to describe these matches is that they're just Raw matches.
Yep.
They're just Raw matches. Nothing of worth happens, except there was one great bit from Cole in commentary where he says, Owens is billed at 266, but I assure you he's heavier than that.
What a dick.
What a dick.
Jesus Christ. He's probably sitting there thinking that because he probably weighs 266.
Have you seen pictures of Cole?
No, is he getting jacked now or something?
He's shredded.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can't find that picture of Cole. He's completely shredded. He's like cut as shit.
I mean, fuck, you spend all your time around wrestlers. It's bound to happen eventually.
Here's a picture of him. He's just like completely fucking gonzo.
It's like, make fun of my commentary again.
Yeah. The pop-up power bomb that ends the match was kind of suspect looking. That's all I have. So finally, we get to the final match of Hell in a Cell. We get to finally see the end of Undertaker versus Brick Laser.
Good. It's about time.
Yeah, it's about time. So it's Hell in a Cell, Taker versus Bork. And within probably the first 2 minutes, they brawl the outside. Taker shoves him into the turnbuckle post, and Brock gets off just the most disgusting blade job.
Yep.
He dices the ever-loving
fucking
piss
Metal
out.
Gear Revengeance
He
blading
dices the shit out of his forehead. And his Crimson Mask is like super immediate. There, like a couple minutes later, there's a possibly legit doctor spot to make sure that he's not bleeding out too much. The first thing that happens when this blade job happens, the only thing I can think about is SummerSlam.
Yeah,
we were. If you listen to our last episode, we were ripping on Brock. Where in the SummerSlam Taker and Brock match, Brock tries for a blade job like 3 times and he cannot get it. He just gets these little like baby scratches that do not lead to blood at all, and it looks like he's healing in real time.
Yeah.
He sharpened up his blades for this one because he diced himself.
He might have hit a vein. I don't know if there's veins up in the forehead.
He did something good. So Brock starts bashing Taker with a chair. Taker blades somewhere before or after a particularly nice snap suplex on the outside. Brock starts the suplex train, hits an F5. Taker kicks out. Brock immediately hits another F5. Taker still kicks out. Brock starts to beat up Taker with the steps, and eventually Taker reverses into Hell's Gate. Brock powers out, finds a small tear in the mat, which I don't know how it got there, to be honest.
Maybe with the same blade that Brock used to blade
probably.
himself with.
Yeah, he's sharpened up tonight.
He's like, I brought a fucking little lightsaber with me today.
Yeah, so there's like a small tear in the mat. He starts tearing away at it and exposing the mat padding. And he takes the mat padding out and he exposes the wood floor.
Speaking of mat padding, that's what Jay does whenever he talks.
Nice.
That's pretty good, actually. Maybe we'll get more viewers if I actually say that Matt Pat's an actual guest on the show. Matt Pat. Just have you pull double duty.
Oh, gosh. Please don't. I'm already thirsty. My mouth's dry.
Oh, yeah, you don't have any alcohol today.
I don't have any alcohol today. So, after he's done removing the padding, he gets chokeslammed by Taker onto the exposed wood base. Taker then hits the world's safest tombstone.
Yeah.
And you brought this up. It was almost surprising to the fact that commentary didn't notice this and didn't start selling this. Because Brock's head is like legitimately 6+ inches away from the ground when he goes for this tombstone. So the fact that it doesn't he doesn't win off this, you brought up that commentary should have been like, he didn't actually hit his head on the wood.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, Taker completely missed the actual exposed part of the ring. Like, it was like,
technically speaking, he missed the entire fucking ring.
Like, but like, I'm just saying, like, placement wise, he was clearly on the actual matted part of the ring. So, like, not only that, but I'm pretty sure King even mentioned that, he got tombstoned onto the exposed wood, and if anything, they should have been selling how he wasn't.
Yeah,
because that would have at least tried to protect the tombstone a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, that move's been kicked out of more times in the last decade than fucking... I don't know where I'm going with that, but you get what I mean.
I get you.
It's been kicked out of so many fucking times. But yeah, like, he just missed it so much. It's like he wasn't even trying.
So, that's that. The ending is Bork hitting a low blow because there's no DQs.
Yep.
So he just like forearm biceps all the way through Taker's junk.
Yeah.
He F5s Taker onto the exposed wood, and that's the end of that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's your end. That's your ending, folks.
And mercifully, it's over.
Yeah, pretty awkward crowd cheer to get Taker to his feet after the match.
Yeah.
And then Bray's Spooky Man intro hits. Bop! And the Wyatts come out and beat up Taker, and they end up carrying Taker out of the ring. And thus ends Hell in a Cell 2015.
Yeah.
This wasn't even a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
This was an episode of Raw.
It's a good thing we didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, technically you paid for it because you paid for the network.
I have the network. But for everything... No, even if you included the, the open challenge. Because everything except Roman and Bray was a Raw quality match or worse.
Yeah. Which is amazing because they had extra time thanks to one of the matches being cut.
Yeah. So, it's astounding.
Well, I mean, honestly, you can't say that the main event Hell in a Cell was a Raw match.
No, that it really wasn't. It was just a disappointing late match, but...
I mean, I can't really call it disappointing either. It's just, I'm more disappointed that it happened rather than with the match itself.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably better.
Because I didn't need to see Taker and Brock again after WrestleMania 30. I didn't need to see Taker and Brock again after SummerSlam.
No.
And I'm so glad that, well, at least they're saying it, that we won't see Taker and Brock again.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing that Twice in a Lifetime has taught me, it's that WWE will lie to you.
Mm-hmm. So
you know Twice in a Lifetime, right? Do you know what that's referencing?
Maybe.
No?
No.
See, WrestleMania fucking number, I don't know, 28 maybe, I forget. Fucking John Cena versus The Rock. Once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Never happen again, we promise. Very next year, what's the main event? John Cena versus The Rock.
I remember that now. I know. I didn't know the name, but
well, they didn't call it that, obviously,
yeah,
but fans and smarks, which are also fans, call it Twice in a Lifetime to mock how stupid WWE can be with shit.
So it's funny because on the actual card, the best match was Bray and Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you count the entire card, the best match by far was the pre-show match.
Awesome match.
So that's that. And
we
now,
should also note, like, on the episode of Raw, the Wyatt family beat up Kane the same way that they beat up Taker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they dragged him to the back and shit. But we also got a little segment in the back that kind of showed them, like, dragging Kane
into the fog.
Yeah, so that was cool.
So,
maybe they'll expand on that a little bit.
So it looks like there's promise for the Wyatt family, which is good because Bray completely takes all the heat of beating Taker in the middle of at the end of a pay-per-view where he loses to Roman. So, like, that's magical to me. Like,
yeah,
he survived that loss pretty well.
I mean, yeah, but he shouldn't have had to.
Even though he shouldn't have to.
Wouldn't he have looked much stronger if he fucking defeated Roman and then said, fuck Undertaker?
Yeah, that's like
now he just looks
like saying, isn't Bray going to look strong when he punches the fucking sun?
I mean, but that's the thing, though. It's like, you know, Bray, even to guys who like him, like me, it's starting to reach a point where it's like he loses, and then he goes to challenge another big opponent, and you're like, bitch, what have you done? You know, like, and I hate it because I fucking love Bray, but they're fucking not letting him beat anybody. They're letting him beat dudes who are literally, like, damage control jobbers at this point. You know, like, they bring in fucking Chris Jericho. Let's have Bray Wyatt beat him after losing once. You know, but it's fine because Bray ends up winning. Like, okay, I guess. Like, you know, if you lose to a jobber, but then you beat him twice, like, how good are you really? You know, they have him beat Dean Ambrose pretty consistently, so it's like, fuck. You got a guy who's clearly damaged goods, who should be way higher on the card than he is, losing to a guy who's also damaged goods and is high on the card, but can't seem to fucking get a win to save his life.
And then you have the guys that are not yet damaged goods, and they're on the piss bottom of the pre-show.
Yeah.
So the booking right now is absolute shit. And we've got about 5 weeks until Survivor Series?
Is it 5 weeks? It's the 22nd. It's for sure the 22nd. I looked it up on my calendar.
4 weeks?
It's normally 4 weeks. Let me check here real quick. It's 27th now. So, not next Sunday. Not the Sunday after. So, yeah. 4 Sundays from now.
All right. So, we'll see how about... we'll see about that. I think we already covered Tyler Breeze.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's that. I already talked about Roman, which took up almost the entirety of this Raw. So, yeah, that's that, dudes. It was a quick episode, because boy, howdy, was there nothing to talk about.
Was it a quick episode?
Yeah, we're at 1 hour and 7 minutes right now. Man. And normally we put on a 2 hour plus show.
Yep.
So, it goes without saying that Hell in a Cell was a huge disappointment.
Yep, it's a good thing I wasn't really expecting anything.
The one thing we were expecting was the open challenge, and boy, did we get our hopes misplaced.
I wasn't even expecting, because I guess I missed the episode of Raw that said he was going to have an open challenge. So,
that's true.
So I was like, oh, an open challenge, shit.
I knew that he was leaving, or at least the dirt sheets said that.
I had heard about that too, so, you know.
Yeah. There was hope. Anyways, that's it for us. If you like what you see, turn off the TV and hop on Twitter. And follow me on Twitter. It's at MRUSUK. My name's Mr. Usuck. Follow me on Twitter. I tweet funny things.
I am the only LunaKage. You know, I bet it'll be in the description.
Yeah. And if you wish to be a normal person with podcasts, I should probably mention this at the beginning of the video, but I suck. They will be in the download in the description below. Thank you for listening to us. I did not have enough alcohol to do this episode.
Yep.
Bye.
Late.